All right. My friend, it's another time I'm coming to your face, and it's really good having you always ready for what we have to bring to you. And we've never disappointed you. And today is something totally different from what you've been having from us. And I promise it's going to be very, very interesting. I have a big fish in the house, and he will be telling us briefly about himself before we now move into. We need to tell you more about. Fine, this is not January when we're talking about goal setting, but our world has been disrupted with this COVID-19 pandemic that have changed our life, and I will be glad to tell you that our life will not remain the same again, because a whole lot of things has been altered. So even the goal you set in January, we now need to look at those goals now. We need to evaluate them, because something different totally has happened to the entire world. And believe you me, it will be drilling you down today. And the time you spend today will make a difference in your life. So once again, welcome to the program. This is Let's Talk About It with King Emmanuel on the Incubator Media Radio. And you can watch us. You can watch us on our website, www.theincubatormedia.com. And you can listen to this program on Facebook Live of the Incubator Media page as well. So without wasting further time, we allow him to tell us what he's been doing now. You're welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, listeners. I'm happy to be here. My name is Taiwo Mustapha, and it's so very good for me to be here. I'm very happy about it. By the grace of God, I'm just someone like you. I'm like your brother. I'm like a friend to you. So what I do basically is that I've developed a lot of life skills modules that help young people and working class people to really develop their potentials and move on with their life. So I will be talking about one of the goals which I have developed today, which is about evaluation. I know a lot of people have set goal for 2020, but what is more important right now is how do we evaluate the goal, and how do you even achieve the goals in which we have set for 2020, because you don't need to let that go down. You can still achieve your goal if you evaluate it, and then you can move ahead and achieve your goal. So this will be my focus today, teaching you about how you can evaluate your goal. Basically what I do, I'm a speaker. I speak to young people all across the nations and beyond, and then I go to schools. I speak at seminars and conferences, and this has been my pleasure because it's really what I'm passionate about. So as we proceed in this conversation, I would like to tell you that whatever you are passing through right now is not going to last, because there is an adage that says tough times never last, but tough people do. Happy listening.
Thank you very much, my brother and my friend. At least we've known for some time, and I followed what he's doing, and I think that you will really be blessed, and that was why he's here today, and he will be sharing more on it. And like I do tell you that every time is an opportunity to do something new, to make your life better. Keep the thing is, you need to keep dreaming. For anybody that keeps dreaming, never short of ideas. And once you're not short of ideas, there is nothing that you cannot achieve in this world. But let's come to think of it. It will tell us more about. We'll start with goals. We'll look at goal setting, then how you can evaluate it, because someone said that what you cannot measure, you cannot give account of it. So if you cannot measure what you're doing with yourself, then you're not accountable. And like the Holy Book said that what shall it profit a man if he gains the whole world? He did not only lose his own soul, he cannot evaluate what he has done. He cannot account for what he has done. That's why he eventually lost his soul. And some of you are losing your precious time. By the time you sit down with that laptop and you're doing season film of 10 hours, you cannot give account meaningful things you've learned from such activities. Or what you simply do is to sit down, you talk around. There is no life in talking. There is no benefit in talking. The scripture said that word of a man will tend to penury. So you get to attach important thing to your life. People that are making it in life is the same 24 hours. They don't have two heads. They don't have four eyes. They don't have two noses or two mouths, as it were. It's the same thing we have. The same human being like you. The same time. We live in the same Nigeria. People are still making, even at the time of pandemic, people are still making money. So today we'll call you to a reasoning. Like God said, consider your way. We'll call you to a reasoning. Consider how far you've been. And let's enjoy the discussion as we go. So my brother will be talking about goals now, how to set it goal. Then we'll be looking at evaluation. So look at it bit by bit.
Okay, good to have you back. I'll be talking to you about goal settings and evaluation. One thing I know that has helped me in life, even as a young man, is because I have a goal. 10 years ago, when I was just a bit older, leaving secondary school, like many years. So in 2010, I set a goal for myself, and I call that goal Vision 2020, which I know some of you also, you have your Vision 2020 goal. And 2020 is a very remarkable year. It's a very, it's a year that a lot of people have hoped to do so many things. So 10 years ago, I wrote out a lot of things that me, myself, I want to achieve. So I hope that in that 10 years, 2010, 10 years ago, I planned for myself that I want to be married, I want to be working in a very good place, I want to have my own family, I want to be a graduate. I know because I have a goal, that has put me in check on the track in which I live my life. So I know that I'm going somewhere. And there is an adage that says that when you know where you are going to in life, your journey is shorter. And people with goals succeed because they already know where they are going to. So when you don't have a goal, you are like a bird flying in the air without direction. Just go here and go there. So goal setting really helps you to, be focused in life. It puts you on track. So it is very important for us to have goal, which I'm very sure that a lot of us already have what we really want to do in 2020. Now, this is June, the 6th month in 2020. I think you and I need to sit back. It's remaining 6 months for 2020 to go away. Now, if you have a goal, let's say for example, you have a goal to read 10 books in 2020. By now, you have to evaluate and give yourself a pass mark that you must have read 5 books. Maybe you want to do a book per month or thereabout. But if you really want to read 10 books in 2020, by now, you are supposed to have done with 5 books. But if that is not the case with you, then you need to evaluate, what am I not doing right? What else is really taking my time that I've not been able to really achieve this goal? So that is why I really want to dwell more about evaluation. Before we proceed, I would like to tell you what is goal setting, or what is goal. Now, before I do that, I want you to listen to this and listen good. There is an adage that says that if your goal in life is not bigger than you, then God cannot help you. Your goal, you must dream big. You must dream big. People that achieve greater things, there are people that have goal. But you see, what I discover in life is many people have their goal by head. They do not have it documented. There is a power in writing down your thoughts. There is a power in writing down your vision. There is a power in writing down your goals. When you write down your goals, it becomes a document that you can even present before God and say, God, this is the picture of the future that I desired. But it is important that as you live your life, as your life unfolds every day, you evaluate how that, are you working towards your goal, or are you draining back? So it is very important for you to set goals and evaluate them. Now, let me tell you the purpose of setting goals. The purpose of setting goal setting helps you to be on track. As an individual, a lot of things happen in our society that can distract you away from your goal as a young person. But when you have a goal, oh, my goal in life is to be a doctor, you know that you don't have anything to do in a commercial class. You want to become a doctor, you should be in science class. So it helps you to be focused that this is the thing I want to achieve. So you will not be derailed to go to other area in life. And the goal setting helps you to be motivated about your life. If you want to become a doctor, you have to be motivated about it. And that will give you an inner inspiration that, oh, this is what I want to become. So whatever goal you have set for yourself this year, I don't know what your goals are, but I'm telling you that once you evaluate your goal, you'll be able to see other alternatives to you achieving your goal. Let's take, for example, when I was growing up, my ambition in life, my purpose in life, or what I want to achieve was to become a medical doctor. But after so many years, I wrote JAMB 4 times, and upon writing my 4th JAMB, I looked at it that I evaluated myself that, come on, what am I really doing? Because there is difference between you. That is why I tell people that when you want to set goal, your goal must be inspired by your maker, which is God. If God does not inspire what you write down, or you just write it down based on the influence of your friend, or based on the influence of somebody you love, and there is no God inspiration in your goals that you set, there is no way God is going to help you. Now, in evaluating myself, after I have written JAMB 4 times, when I wrote my 4th JAMB, and I was not getting that which I desire, I discovered that it was a permissive way, that it was not God's way, that God's inspiration was not in my goal. Now, what do I mean by that? I only wanted to become a medical doctor because that was what was in vogue in the 90s, the early 90s, late 90s. Everybody wanted to become a medical doctor, engineer. But I really looked at it later when I evaluated myself, praying to God that God should really show me what He really wanted me to do. I discovered that God really wanted me to be a teacher. So upon evaluating myself, 4 years have gone. A lot of my friends were already a graduate. I'm still battling with JAMB. So I then looked at it that, what can I do? And I was already working. So what I did was that upon evaluating myself, I then looked at it that, come on guys, you are not getting younger. I can no longer go to a regular school, because at that time I was already like 24, 25. So I'm like, if I want to go to regular school, by the time I graduate, I can't even serve. So the alternative was for me to do an online course. So I enrolled for an online course, and it was really very good. And that's where we are right now. Everybody is going online to learn. And I have the same BSc that people that went to regular school have. So when you evaluate yourself, you'll be able to see the other ways, other channels, other alternative of you achieving your goal. So that if you don't just put your egg in one basket, that, okay, this is what I want to do. Your goal has to be flexible. And this will lead me to the tools of goal setting. When you are setting your goals have to be SMART. We use the acronym SMART to mean your goal has to be specific. You have to define your goal. You have to give it a name. Like my goal then was Vision 2020. This is what I want to achieve in 10 years. So your goal has to be specific. And one of my goals at that time was to have a BFC before 2020, which I did. One of my goals at that time, in that 10 years goal for me, 2020, was to get married, which I did. One of my goals before 2020 was to give birth, which I did. I'm now a father. So when you set goal, you have to be specific. You can't just set goal in a scattered way. You want to become an engineer, at the same time you want to become a blogger. You want to become jack of all trades. No, your goal has to be specific. And then your goal must be measurable. Do you want your goal to be on a short time, or do you want it to be on a long time? So if your goal is not measurable, then you will not be able to evaluate your goal. When you set goal that by the end of 2020, I want to read 20 books, definitely you know that by the time December comes, you must be able to show these are the 10 books that I've read. And so when you don't give yourself a measure, maybe in a year, in a week, in a month, and you break it down like that, you will not be able to evaluate your goal. And then your goal must be action oriented. Don't be like that man that in a week in the past week he has been shouting, I want to go to Lagos, I want to Lagos, I want to go to Lagos, and he's still sitting down in one place, I want to go to Lagos. Instead of him to get to the terminal, be on the bus, and then you move, he was still saying, I want to go to Lagos, I want to go to Lagos, in the same spot. No, your goal has to be action oriented. You need to go out, meet people, talk to people that can help you. If you have to read more books, you read more books. If you have to deny yourself of sleep, you deny yourself of sleep. If you have to stop watching TV, you have to stop watching TV. So your goal has to be action oriented, and your goal has to be realistic. You don't set goals that you yourself know that you are not going to be able to achieve. Now, the reason why I switched to the alternative for schooling online was that I looked at it that if I have to go for a full-time schooling, definitely I need a sponsor. And my father was late, my mother wasn't working, so I looked at it that who will then sponsor my education? And since I already have a work I'm doing, so I can be using my salary to sponsor myself. So that was an alternative for me. So it is very important for you to set goals that you can achieve. And you don't set goals that, although it's good to dare, it's good to dream big, but you know that you are a slow reader. You can't set a goal that, in 1 week, I want to read 10 books. It's not possible. You know that you have to read and read and read again. So you set the goal that commensurates with your appropriate SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis means your strength, your weakness, your opportunity, and your threat. So you need to know all these things so that you will not be setting goals that will later break your back, and then at the end of the day you will not be able to achieve anything. And on that we have the T. Your goal must be time bound. You need to give yourself some time. I want to spend 1 hour, at least 2 hours in a day to review or to read, to do my assignment, to do this. So because time has been given to every man to profit with it. So it's very important that as you set your goal, you look at all of these tools, that you make sure that your goal is smart. And then I'm very sure that when you put all these things into practice, you'll be able to achieve your goals.
Thank you very much, my friend. And really, really important. As while I was talking, some things were striking me. I don't know how you're feeling at the other end there. Maybe you're still there, you're still complaining. And there's no better time to do the right thing. There's no better time. Anytime you do the right thing, that is the time. And Newton told us in physics that everything, a body will remain in a state of rest. And that's where it's going to be, except an external force had on it. What did I pull off from there? In life, nothing works except you walk. Nothing moves except you moved it. He told us he had every reason not to have progressed in life. The father is late, mommy is not working, and it could have been a very good excuse for him to remain where he is and refuse to do anything. Like some of you are saying, and there's nobody to sponsor me. But you start something. One of my mentors said, people keep on talking about, if I had money, I would do this and do that one. But he said, no, it's idea that you don't have. He wrote one book on idea rules the world. He says it's idea that when you have idea will make a way. He says it's like somebody having a vision. When you have a vision, there will be provision for your vision. Your vision will always attract provision. You make a move. We all know about a KFC owner. And we know how many places the retired soldier went to for people to buy into his idea. He has his retired money with them. And he didn't want to spend it like some of us will have done, maybe to go and buy a fine house in Banana Island and buy Bugatti, then squander the rest, and like that, and became broke. But he has to go until he got to 1,001 person and was interested, and KFC is worldwide today. What are we going to know you for? Because that's the question I do ask. Some people have come and gone, but we can still see the impact of them. We can still see what they've done. When will you stand up from your seat of excuse giving? Get out from the pity party that you set around you. Pity party doesn't take anybody anywhere. You need to go out and stretch your hands, your muscle. Do something. It's only a crime when you don't do anything. And you see where he's been today. He has to set it right. Okay, what I need to do? I would need a sponsor if I will go for a regular schooling. So I have to apply wisdom. What do I need to do? Let me get a work to do. Then I will be using it to augment myself. I think someone is listening to me now, so that you quit giving excuses. There is one reason and one reason not to do anything in life. And so also equally, there is no reason why you should not succeed like others have. Like when we started, I told you, people did not have two heads. You are not, people that have succeeded are not better than you do. What they've only done is position themselves for opportunity. And when preparation meet opportunity, that's success point. And that's what we're trying to share at this time. Don't sit down anymore. And don't say because of your color. It doesn't matter. Success is not no color or races. Aliko Dangote today is far more succeeded than much more of some Americans. And he's here, he's in Nigeria, he's a black man, a richest man in Africa. It started like, maybe he never have as much education as some of you had now as the time he started. And he's been able to, put in everything together and it's moving on. There may be some of you that are hearing me, you are a church boy, you are a church girl, you are a church lady, you are a church man. Christianity does not support laziness. You need to do something. And like one of my mentors used to say, what you can do, God will not do it for you. So it became something people around me, when they say, may God help us, sometimes I don't say amen. Because the one you're supposed to do, you've not done it. The provision God has made, you have not even touched it. He made us in his own image. That was why God created a wood. It's now left for us to turn the wood either to furniture, turn the wood either to a book that we use. It's created an animal. It's left for us to get the cow slaughter and get our beef or corned beef and use the wool of his skin to use it for maybe clothing, maybe something, and use the skin of the cow. You can use it for your belt, for your shoe, for any kinds of leather work. So God has done everything. So there's no reason to disturb him. It's for you to think in between you. Think. You needed to think. A whole lot of guys have done a whole lot of things. This guy wrote Gifted Hands, Ben Carson. You saw some of his book. You can read some of his books. Obama wrote The Dream of My Father, Audacity of Hope. What has not happened before? Somebody there is something. And that was why he said, you are even a Christian. It make it worse. Because our God is God of impossibility. A God that specializes in impossibility. That things can happen. Things can be done. And that was why you should stand up today, challenge yourself. Because I would throw it to you. Moses was a shepherd man. Though we don't know how much education he acquired, at the Pharaoh's palace. Yeah, but he wrote the first 5 books in the Bible. How was he able to pick what happened during creation when he was not there? I don't know. But you need to find out there's something in you that said that you can set your goal and achieve your purpose. Let's talk about goals. Let's talk about tools to use. Who are you? Nobody will do this for you. You need to do it for yourself. Go online. There are a lot of free tools online to assess yourself. A lot of psychometric tests online that will tell you who you are, what you have, so that you can leverage on it. I'm talking to you today. I wasn't born a speaker. I used to stammer before. I used to feel shy. I used to drag. But I did psychometric test, and one of what I have to do is counseling is part of it. What I have to do, encouraging people, motivating people, was part of it. And that was why we have this medium to do what we're doing. So I'm talking to someone there. You need to stand up today. Fine, you say you've not done anything since January to date. It's still not late. You can start. Like he has said, follow what I said and get your life move on. It will continue now to tell us more. He told us about goals, told us why we need to set up goals, told us the tools that you need to use. Remember, he mentioned SMART. Your goal must be specific. He mentioned that. It must be measurable. He mentioned that. Articulate. He mentioned that. It must be realistic. He mentioned that. And must be time bound, because you don't have the whole time to sit down to do. Must be time bound. Mentioned that. And he said, while you are doing this, do a SWOT analysis. That's your strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. Look at it. What area of strength do you have? Maybe you can even be a motivational speaker, a public speaker. Maybe you have an ability to write. Why not put it into writing? Maybe you can, act or dramatize something. Why don't you leverage on that point? Don't sit up on where you are. If you can act, you can put up all kinds of drama. Look for some drama school online or some around us. Just go there, hone your skill, and give the work. Remember, most of the people I see today that do very well are people that do not even work for anybody, and they work for themselves, and they leverage on their on what God has given unto them. And as I said, God has given to everybody. If you see Alibaba today in Nigeria, I'm not talking of Alibaba of Jakama. I'm talking about Alibaba, the comedian in Nigeria. Today, he's the king of comedy in Nigeria. He's done very well for himself. I was attending an international conference last year. He was one of the speakers. That's to tell you something. People are doing what they need to do for themselves. You've heard of RMD, Richard Mufedamijo. He's done very well for himself. Even though he may be acting all those funny things, I will tell you he had 2 degrees, theater art and law. So people are doing great things for themselves. If you've not taken the right decision, maybe not too really late to start all over. Remember, Sam Adeyemi was engineering by training, but today is a global leadership consultant. Somebody that would not, that feel shy, that's too reserved, overly reserved. But today he addresses thousands and millions of people around the world. You need to check it. That, where are you coming from? What can you do? Oyedepo said in his story that when he was growing up, he hates 2 things. He doesn't love to write and he hates to speak. But you can look at the man today, what he has done for himself. He worked on those areas. He had 2 universities to his name, 2 best universities in Nigeria, for that matter, to his name. And he has written over 103 books. And so there is nothing you cannot get to happen. A whole lot of things are happening over there. Kunle Shonari, was, we're not even sure whether eventually graduated from UNILA after 8 years. Kunle Shonari. But today, he addressed people across the world. He has international shows across the world. Don't waste your life. Life is too precious and short. Oh well, I hope you understand. We'll continue with my brother.
Okay. Lots have been said, and I hope someone is jotting down some things, because you see, listen to this. If you are born poor, it is not your fault. But if you die poor, it is your fault. No matter the situation of your family, you can change the situation. And I tell young people, your goal is not all about what you like. What you hate most in life can be a clue to your goal. What do I mean by that? I hate teaching, I hate speaking. A majority of people that are world speakers today, they've all hated it. Majority of people that are great teachers today, they all hated being a teacher. But it was from what they ate, because they evaluated themselves that, okay, I wanted to become a doctor. I don't even know how to inject anybody. You don't even like it. But there is something that you ate that God is trying to prompt you that, come on, this is a skill. But because you hated it, you don't want to go in that line. So you need to evaluate yourself and really look at it, that what is God prompting you? And you were like, because you hate that thing, you don't want to go in that line. It's better you go in that line, because I suffered for more than 5 years for me to discover my purpose. Because what I ate was actually a clue to my purpose in life. But because I hated it, I suffered, dearly for it, which I don't want you to repeat the history. So evaluate yourself. What evaluation does is that it gives room for improvement. And what the whole world is doing right now is to evaluate themselves. The organization, corporate, even the church, everybody is evaluating. How do we save costs? What is our expenditure related to our income? If the income is not balanced, we are going to short of staff. People are sacking their staff members because they cannot cope because of the evaluation they are doing in their organization. This will lead me, I will be talking about 5 different types of evaluation that you do as a young person or whoever is listening to me. I want to talk about these 5 things because they are things that are essential to your life. And number 1, I will start with the one that is very dear to me, because God is your maker and He has created this for a purpose. So you need to evaluate your spiritual life. You call yourself a Christian. During this lockdown, you've not even had any moment to fast. You've not had any moment to pray about your vision. You've not had any moment to even pray and thank God and develop your faith in the most holy. So you need to evaluate your spiritual life, because the Bible says, "Is he that endureth to the end shall be saved." So for you to save yourself, you need to constantly evaluate your life. And the Bible said, examine yourself if you are in the faith. So it's very important for you to evaluate your spiritual life. How is your relationship with your maker? How is your relationship with your God? And secondly, I will talk about financial and income evaluation. So many young people are living beyond what they can do because of the pressure of first impression. I want people to see that I used to wear the latest. So even if I don't have money for it, I have to still to keep putting that image outside there that I am well to do. Whereas you don't have the money. So you need to evaluate your finances and your income. How do you spend money? You see, a lot of people have not been practicing the principle of save before you spend. All of us, we keep spending, we then save. But the principle is you save first before you spend. God has given us enough to spend, to share, and to save. But the principle has changed since the 21st century. You save first, then you spend. But we are all spending, and then you'll be left with nothing to save. And when crisis comes, there will be nothing for you to spend. Since when I gave birth to my son, I just decided no matter how little, I'm going to save 100 naira every day into his PG box. And that is what people, when I told a friend that I'm saving 100 naira for my child, he said, how much is 100 naira? But just imagine I was able to save 100 naira every day in 1 year. Whatever I get is an addition to what I will have at that time. But if I had not saved it, I will have nothing. So saving is very important. So no matter what you earn, even when you earn 1,000 naira, it doesn't take you anything. After removing your tithe, you save a little. You can save 20%. But when you save, you prepare for the unknown. Because see, change is inevitable. What is happening right now, coronavirus, is a change that we all don't plan for. And a lot of people that are not really, saved for this, they are really suffering now. They don't have any money to spend. They don't have, a lot of organizations have not paid their staff since March because there was no backup. So it is very important for you to evaluate your finances and your income, and don't live above your income. Do not live above your income. This is what so many young people do. They want to, ride Ferrari. They want to, fly first class. They want to, put a false impression of who they are not in the face of other people. So it's very important for you to evaluate your finances. Now, it's very, very important for you to evaluate your personal life. Where are you going in life? After coronavirus, what will be your life? Coronavirus has opened our understanding that everybody that doesn't have digital skills now will be useless after coronavirus. Because everything is becoming virtual. So what have you done during this time to improve yourself? You need to evaluate your personal life. You need to see the picture of your future. Is it getting brighter or getting blurred? It's lack of personal evaluation that makes you to think Being under your parent at the age of 35 is cool. When your mates are CEO of conglomerates, it is very wrong for you to think like this. You need to be able to take responsibility of your own life. Many people will be like, oh, I have my goals. I have it in my head. It's not about having your goal in your head. If you don't write down your goals, they are still abstract. And we walk in the light. The whole world is a world that is geared towards understanding, seeing results, seeing hard copy. Although we are gradually moving to soft copy now, but we are still controlled by hard copy. What you can do, what people can see. So you need to write down your goals so that it can become a document that is presentable. So it is very important. Don't just have your goal off in your head. You must have it written down so that it can become a document. And then you need to evaluate your family life. So many young people are torn in the flesh of their family. And this is a question to you. Is your family enjoying you or they are enduring you? The moment your family cannot enjoy you, you have gone for 1 month and nobody misses you, nobody even call to even check on you. You should know that nobody misses you. You should know that you need to evaluate your family. Because whatever happened to you in the world outside there, you are still coming back to meet this same family that you have not cared about. So your family is very important. Even as young people, what relationship do you have with your father and your mother? It's very important. These are people that brought you to life, and the Bible says, honor your father and your mother in the Lord. It's very important that you evaluate your family life. It is also very important that evaluation is done at school to be able to establish the in-depth of understanding of a concept. So you need to evaluate your life in the way and the direction in which you are going. Now, you have set a goal for 10 years, 5 years. This is where I want to see myself. Are you really working in that line? Are you really working in that line? You set a goal 5 years ago that you want to become a medical doctor. Are you in a medical school now? You set a goal 5 years ago that you want to read 10 books by the end of 2020. How far? Have you read about 4 or 5 books now? So it is very important for you to evaluate your goal. And lastly on that, I would like to talk about community evaluation. We are all product of the community in which we are. You cannot compare a product from Banana Island and you compare it with a product in a slum area. So this product will be different. So you need to evaluate your community. There is an influence of community on you. A lot of people that are area boys that smoke around, they are product of one community. You need to evaluate, is your community safe? As a child or as an individual for you? Is it a good place for you to raise your children? And is it a good place that is also benefiting your life? I have time to talk to people. Why do people rush to Banana Island? What is there? But because they want a safe community. When your community is not safe, it can hinder your goal in life. So you need to live in a safe community. And no matter wherever community you are living now, even if you are living in the slum, you can make your environment safe. You can make your community safe by just doing what you have to do and by helping people outside there. So I pray that as you evaluate your goal, the Lord will open your eyes more to see the alternatives, the things that you need to afford, and the opportunity that you need to prepare for. And the Lord will help you to achieve your goal in the name of Jesus. Before I round off, I would like to talk to you about the things that can stand as an obstacle for you not achieving your goal. One of the things I usually put first is debt. Debt is inevitable. And that is why you must not just sit down there. Nobody knows when debt is going to come. Debt is one of the greatest obstacles to goals achieving. Because once you die, to him that is dead, there is no hope. For to him that has life, there is hope. So debt can be an obstacle to you. Sickness can be an obstacle to you. And sicknesses come by having a bad habit sometimes. So you need to watch that. Lack of information. If you are not exposed to potential information that can help your life, it can hinder your goals. And the lack of skills. Many people are still having obsolete skills. You don't have to have obsolete skills. Now you should be looking for skills that will be needed in the future of work. Because we are gradually moving to a virtual life. We are moving to paperless generation where so many skills will be so obsolete. So you should evaluate your skills. And then bad belly people, you need to pray against them. There are people that doesn't want you to succeed. They may be in your community, they may even be in your family, and that is why I told you to evaluate your relationship in your spiritual evaluation, your relationship with God. It is very important. And then time management. How do you manage your time? If you don't manage your time well, before you know it, 5 years have gone. And you are like, oh, what have I achieved? You've achieved nothing. You need to know how to manage your time. Now, these are the ways that you can overcome the obstacles that can stand as an impediment to you achieving your goal. Number one, believe in yourself. Say, I believe in myself. So you need to believe in yourself. You are the image of God. The people that succeeded that you are looking up there, they don't have to err. They make a decision one day and they took their life by their hand, because your future is in your hand. So you need to take responsibility for your life. So there is a need for you to believe in yourself. You need to commit to being focused and disciplined. There is no way you can succeed in life without being disciplined. You have to be disciplined. You need to engage your creativity, your inner innovation. You need to engage it. Think about your life, 5 years, 10 years. Where do I want to be? You can no longer be under your parent forever. No matter how rich your parent, one day they'll be tired of you, that come on, go out there and explore. So you need to, prepare your life, prepare for opportunity. You also need to avoid procrastination. No, I will do it tomorrow. Let me sleep a little. I will do it tomorrow. Avoid procrastination. And then identify human and financial resources that you need. There is nothing you need. There is nothing you want to do that somebody else has not done before. Even if it's not exactly, someone has done something that is like that before. All you need is to make contact, network, because your network is your net worth. You need to have like-minded people that can challenge you, and don't just be working in the midst of low-minded people that are not, challenging you. And then you need to be flexible. In life, you may want to go to A, and God is directing you to B. If you are not flexible, you will keep on going to A and you will never get to A. But when you are flexible, when God changed the direction and things change, and God said move to B, then you will find new cheese. Because there is a book I read, Who Moved My Cheese? That is a very, very wonderful book. So many people are stagnant right now because they don't want to look for new channels, new opportunities. And there is one opportunity that is waiting for them in the front. All they just need to do is to search for new cheese. As they search for new cheese, they will, wow, so I've been enjoying old cheese. This one is even sweeter. And just as a result of making effort, moving forward, moving towards your goal. And lastly, you need to share your vision with a mentor. There are people in life that have achieved great things, and they are willing to help people that are, coming up to also succeed. So you need to stand at the shoulder of the giant. But when you stand at the shoulder of the giant, you'll be able to see far, and you'll be able to avoid the mistakes in which that person have been able to overcome. So as you do all of these things, I want to see you hear more of your success story in the near future. And there is a lot of room at the top that can contain everyone. Many years ago, we don't have Facebook, but when Facebook was created, we all shifted and we accommodated Facebook. And now the guy is one of the richest people in the whole world, even richer than Dangote. So the whole world is waiting for you to manifest. And the Bible said the next expectation is waiting for the manifestation of the Son of Man. So you need to manifest. There is a gift that God has put in you. Don't let it die. I'm looking forward to one day to read your success story, and so shall it be. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, my friend. It's a really, really great time, and I hope you've been able to pick one or two things from what he has said. Is important that will put some of these things in perspective. He was even telling you 35. To me, 35 is too long. Once you cross 18, 19, you should, if they didn't ask you to, though they're not asking you to leave the house, but as at that time you should be, be in charge of what you're doing and be responsible for yourself at that particular time. And because I have plenty mentor, one of them said, what you be in the next 5 years is on two things: the books you read and the friends that you keep. And of course, I'm not sure the books you are reading now, those pornographic books you're reading, some of those books that are wasting your time, I'm not sure they will be able to help you to in the next things you're going to be. And so you need to drop some of them and look ahead. And who is your friend? Who do you hang around with? You're not better than your friend, because likes begat like. Likes attract like. You can only attract who you are, not what you want. And so you need to really watch some of all these things. You've been around all these friends, they've had you down all this year. I think you should opt out for something new today. And equally mentioned that you should be flexible. You should be ready to learn and relearn. Now people are deleting the old thing they learned in order to accommodate the new thing that they needed to, do. Talk of the guys that has Facebook. It will still interest you that the same guy bought over WhatsApp now. If you click Instagram now. So the guy is just going without anything stopping him at that young age. He's doing all this. At the age of 25, he's a billionaire already, and he's doing all this kind of thing. So you are 25, or you are even more. What are we going to remember you for? This young man that brought Facebook, he has helped us so much. Instead of going to post office to post letter and to do this and to wait for a reply to come maybe next month or how many days later, he has made it easier. I'm here in Nigeria now. I can call my friend in New York right away now. I'll be looking at him, he'll be looking at me, we'll be talking. I mean, communication was taken care of. And when there are crises, that's where there is opportunity. Crisis is happening now. Some people are making money and they're not praying that this thing should end, because this is when they are selling their market. So you can sell something. That crisis in your neighborhood, that crisis in your community is a pointer to what you can do to survive in life. The story of Dangote, and I read, in the northern part of Nigeria, they have grains. They have all these grains, millet, corn, maize, and all this. So what will it do? It will get them in large quantity. It will buy them cheaper rate from there, put them inside the truck, bring them down to Lagos where there is no farm in Lagos, and it will sell all those corns, all those. It will sell them all. And when it sell them all, that's okay. Going back to the northern part of Nigeria, there's no rice there, there's no sugar there, and there is no salt because there's no ocean around them like we have in the southern part. Then, the money he made from selling millet, wheat, corn, he will put it into buying bags of rice, bags of sugar, bags of salt, put them back inside the same container. We're not allowed the vehicle to go back empty, back to the northern part, Kano then. And so, the business was running. And at a point, he had so much money that, according to his chief strategist, Dr. Ahmed Mansour, because I listened to one presentation that I had, he said, Aliko was advised and said, see, you can set up some companies too. You can set up manufacturing companies. Yeah. Instead of, because at a point, he was the largest importer of sugar from Brazil. It was doing salt, the same thing. It was getting rice from Thailand. And that those guys could even trust in that if you paid for one ship, they can give him 2 extra because they know he's going to return. Because equally faithful to that, you should be faithful in life. You should be disciplined. You should be given to excellence. Don't do wrong things. It will catch up with you. And this is the thing Aliko was doing. So at a point, I had to start manufacturing industries, and which you and I knows today, the largest producer of cement in Nigeria, even of sugar in Nigeria, is doing that salt in Nigeria. And now again, he's been able to venture into oil and gas. He's building the biggest petrochemical refinery in the world, single train. And beside this single train of refinery is equally doing a fertilizer plant that would do 3 million metric tons a year. And so somebody conceptualizing this in the same Nigeria, and it's not only doing that, it's laying a pipeline of 654 kilometers from Niger Delta inside water straight down to Lagos where the refinery is. What are you telling me that something is holding you back? This man never had a university degree when he started all this thing. He later went to University of Cairo to do biz admin. And see everywhere he is today. And see what he's been able to do for himself. What are we going to say about you? You're even more educated than all these guys. A Bill Gates never graduate. Even Mark Zuckerberg never graduate. But you are a graduate. What are you doing? God has put in something in your hand. Will you discover it? You start small. If you need to start small, then, begins to move. And as we draw the curtain today, I have something to tell you. A very cunning boy came and met a wise man. And this wise man, whatever he said, is always right. If he predicts something, it will come to pass. So this boy came and said, this man will fail today. He put in a butterfly in his hand and closed the hand. And came to the wise man and said, tell me whether the butterfly is alive or dead. If the wise man said the butterfly is alive, he's going to squeeze it up and kill it. If he said it's dead, he's going to open his hands and let it go. What did the man say? He said, well, whatever that happened to the butterfly is what is in your mind. It's what is in your mind. What is in your mind now? The future is in your hand. It's no longer far, it's in your hand. And I don't know what you want to do. But I can tell you somebody that can help you out. He is a friend. He is a brother, bigger than a brother. He's a lover, bigger than a lover you can think of. He gave his life. He gave everything for you and I so that our life can be better. He has seen everything all. He's the most successful man that ever lived. 2,000 years ago, he lived in the world. Up to today, we are still talking about his impact. The world has not recovered. Most of the things he said, world has not been able to unravel it. Most of the things he did, world cannot explain. Somebody going against the force of gravity and he ascended back to heaven. Jesus wants to take you above all those things you've been doing. You've directed your life up to this point. Why don't you be flexible at this point? Allow him to take care of you also. Surrender to him and say, Lord, I'm sorry for everything I've done. I will allow you to lead me at this point. And you pray this prayer. I promise you, he give you a new life. I did this long time ago and I'm still happy. I did that thing that time, that I gave my life to him, and I've not remained the same today. And I'm sure you will not remain the same again. Give your life to him today. He will help you clear all the backlog. And if you have further questions, you need counseling, you want to talk to us, you can check us up on the www.incubatormedia.com. You want to reach out to the man that I've shared with us today. We will drop all his social media details for you on our site. You can follow him up. You can discuss further with him. You can still reach us on 080 92374502. It's a WhatsApp line. You can reach us there. You can drop question for us on the Facebook. You can drop question for us on the Instagram. We are there as Incubator Media, and you can check us even on Twitter. What we are interested in is raising a responsible youth in the society. You will be responsible. Your generation will be happy you came. The generation that is coming, they will read your story and be motivated. Till we'll see on this channel at another time, the same station. I said, keep succeeding and God bless you.